The year is 1221. The Northern Crusades are in full force, which pitted the Catholics against the pagans and the Eastern Orthodox Church. So you can imagine Pope Honorius' concern when he hears that a group of barbarians are threatening Christianity in Finland. To combat this, he and the Bishop of Finland developed a trade embargo against the barbarians, which basically kept the barbarians from trading with anyone in that area, thus compelling them to leave. However, a few years later, the Bishop of Finland asked the Pope to expand this embargo to include both the Novgorod Republic and Russia as well. The Pope agrees and even sends the Livonian Brothers of the Sword to protect Finland. However, it's unknown if they ever actually arrived. I don't know how they were unsure of this. I mean, you know where they were going. Just have the Bishop of Finland take a look around and see if they made it, right? Hey, Bishop, have you seen the brothers? What? My name isn't Bishop. Wait, it's Bishop of Finland, right? I thought that was like Hypatia of Alexandria or something, you know? Same kind of deal. No, what are you... Okay, whatever. What were you asking about? Oh no, I forgot. Alright, we'll talk to you later. Yep. Anyway, what is known is that Novgorod had been weakened by a series of attacks from the Mongols and the Swedes, and now by this embargo. A weakness that a group of Crusaders, known as the Teutonic Knights, were eager to take advantage of. Or, if you're so inclined, the Order of Brothers of the German House of St. Mary in Jerusalem for short. They conquered a number of cities around Novgorod, including Pskov, Izborsk, and Kopori. Also, this is the point in which I should warn you that my pronunciation should be taken with a grain of salt. Anyway, the Crusaders are now closing in on Novgorod itself. But what's that? A new challenger has arrived. The Prince of Novgorod, Alexander Nevsky. Alexander swoops in like a vulture, or, some other thing that swoops, and takes back Pskov and Kopori. But while he's doing this, the Crusaders are well on their way to Novgorod. Seeing this, Alexander lures them to Lake Templa, believing that, being Crusaders, they would be arrogant and try to fight on a frozen lake. Which they do. The Crusader forces, which included over 2,000 men, charged across the ice, but were slowed by the first wave of the Novgorod militia. There were over 5,000 Novgorod and Russian soldiers against the Crusaders, so they really had their work cut out for them. This hand-to-hand combat went on for about 2 hours, at which point Alexander ordered the rest of his men, most of which were his cavalry, to join the battle. So I guess up to this point they were just watching, sitting around, having a snack, maybe making bets on who would fall through the ice first, that kind of thing. Anyway, the Crusaders were already exhausted from all the fighting, and I don't really blame them. Just standing idly on ice is pretty hard. But to do that and have to keep stabbing people to death? Man, sounds like a chore. So when they saw more enemy soldiers beginning to join the battle, they all collectively remembered that they left their stoves on back at home and retreated to turn them off, running deeper into the ice. Having escaped immediate death, they regroup on the far side of the lake, and this is where the story varies a bit from telling to telling. Some claim that while they were trying to figure out their next move, the ice finally broke from underneath them, and many of them fell through and drowned to death, while others state that no first-hand accounts say anything about anyone falling through the ice. So realistically, the first-hand accounts are probably the most accurate, but at the same time, what's the point of having a battle on a patch of ice if no one falls through it? So, I'm gonna go with that one. Anyway, that's the Battle of the Ice for you. And that's also all I have for you today. So until next time, don't die. Sayonara. Or, if you're so inclined, the Order of Brothers of the German House of St. Mary in Jerusalem for short. I got that on first try. I'm pretty proud of myself.